So this video is going to be about why community is so important in Kendama. And obviously this completely goes without saying, obviously, right? But I really want to get into the, I guess, nitty gritty of kind of like the importance. So yeah. Okay, so first off, number one, all right? One of the main reasons I play is for people. And this is where it gets really weird. I'm gonna try to hit it like the center, like just right off rip, okay? So I like in this moment, I don't know, like past me or future me, like that doesn't matter right now. But right now, I am playing solely for myself. As you can see, I don't know if you keep up with my stuff or not, but I don't tag any brand, any player normally, besides like Nick and Zach, because like the G standards things. But I'm really only playing for myself. Like I really don't care about getting picked up by a team at all. And I'm trying to make it clear, you know what I mean? I'm trying to make it clear that like I don't care. Like I'm playing just for myself. So why is community so important then, right? Because there's some contradiction that I need to elaborate on, just for me personally. And I think one of the main reasons why I value community so much is because, first of all, when I started playing, I had one friend that I played with. Obviously, we were playing on the same frequency, so we were motivating each other and leveling up, just kind of like as almost rivals, if that makes sense. Obviously, we weren't like actually trying to get after each other, but there was a sense of like, oh, he landed a whirlwind, like, well, dang, I got to do that, right? So there's one sense of that. But really, when I first started playing, one of the biggest motivators for me was the community. When I first started following people, when I first started kind of getting into that, Instagram page, right, where like just spam following everybody, posting as many tricks as I possibly could per day. I was getting feedback, and I was getting very positive feedback of these people that I had, no relationship with just yet, which I still value to this day so much, because it's one of the main reasons why I've stayed in the community, was because I was able to continue to keep such a like healthy relationship with the whole, with all the players that I like to communicate with, talk with, like, post dares, post like hand checks, like all these really, really cool things. And obviously, like, don't even get me started on events, dude. Events. So Battle at the Border 2023 was one of my, was my first event. And that shook my whole perspective on Kendama, because at first it was like I'd only met one other pro before that, and he has a friend, or like pretty much, he knows someone up in Alaska, and he wanted to hang out with them in Alaska, and I saw he was in Fairbanks, like my hometown, so I was like, dude, I have to hit this guy up, because there's literally no way that's, even possible, right? So my friend hits him up, we have a sesh with them, and that was crazy, because that was my first time seeing like a pro, like a professional player, right, in person. So that shook my world of like, that it's kind of real, because you see these Instagram videos from afar, right? Like not in person, not anything like that. And it's hard to even comprehend the tricks that are being done to such a frequency and to such a high level with consistency, right? So seeing him was just inspiring as hell. It made me even think more of like, how crazy Kendama is as a whole. So after that, fast forward to battle. So I get to battle. One of the first players that I meet was Zach Gallagher. I met him at the airport from SeaTac to Nashville. And that was just a really funny experience, because it was like, my second pro, right? Like one of the guys that I valued, even before meeting him. Before meeting him, I was just like a fanboy, which super embarrassed to say personally, but I really, I love it. I really love it. And he knows. Freaking Zach. All right, whatever. This is corny, whatever. So pretty much, I meet him, we sesh, we kind of hang out, he gets to know me more, I get to know him a lot more, just kind of like all these things, like, realizing that all the players that play Kendama are just people, and they're not celebrities, and they never try to act like celebrities, and if they do, they kind of just get laughed at. Obviously, do whatever you want and be kind of whoever you want, but like the majority of the players are just going to be like genuine ass people. So that was a big shake on my world, because just my perspective was so warped just from Instagram, right? It was kind of like these guys were getting thousands of views, thousands of likes, kind of like more or less like responding to comments, but not like a lot, if that makes sense. Obviously, I think as a whole, I feel like I see a lot more feedback from players, but the vast majority you just don't really see it. Kind of like they put on the persona that I thought that they were celebrities. So just seeing that was huge. Seeing how cool everybody was, seeing like, kind of like how Kendama grows as people continue to play, was a big impact for me. Going to battle, I met so many big players that that I really just value as friends now. You know what I mean? Which is crazy to think about, because literally not even 9 months ago from then, I was like, oh my God, like this guy hit my DMs, like there's no way, this guy followed me back, like what the heck. So, and now they're all just regular people that, I just love. So another reason why I really value the Kendama community is because as a whole, when you're in the community, like you've kind of centered yourself as like a player that posts a lot, responds to feedback, goes to events, you kind of have this unwritten rule of like wanting to spread Kendama. Like whether it be, hanging out with your friends that haven't played Kendama, like, hey, like, look at this, or like, playing in public where people will be like, oh, like, what's that? It's Kendama, like all that kind of stuff, even starting clubs. I think that's so valuable as a whole, because our main goal, like kind of deep down, no matter what, like where you are, this is just what I think. Obviously I could be wrong, but it's just to spread more Kendama. That's like, I think as a community, that's all we care about, because, we understand that we were once like them, right? We were once like the players that kind of looked at it being like, oh, that's cool, like whatever, oh, that's lame, whatever. And then we try it and we kind of get more into it, and it's just so inspiring, right? Another huge thing for me as well, like, starting clubs was a big aspect, because it was like, I would see like, players similar to my age, like, start communities, do little hostings of events. So I was really inspired, mostly by UW Kendama Club, because it grew to such a high level of players, which is really cool. Obviously there was a lot, kind of going behind the scenes, which is amazing, but I knew I could do it. I knew I just kind of had that ability that can outgo, like what I couldn't do in the past and couldn't community. And I was just thinking yesterday, or not, it was literally today, after class, and I got back in my dorm where I'm sitting, and I was looking at my collection right here, and I see all these like super nice Kendama setups, right? So no, you're good. Sorry about that. So yeah, I see all these like super nice setups, and I think since I'm starting this WSU club, recently it's been kind of patchy. I haven't been able to what's it called, like this, or make it an official club that is like on the WSU like program, which has been a grind to get, because I have to like constantly check my email for all this stuff, like whatever, okay? And I was looking at all these like $75, $125, setups that I own, and without even a second hesitation, I would trade one of those for a member that's like, wanting to progress, wanting to keep pushing the game, it goes to like all these days that I host, and just kind of seeing like how much more I value players instead of setups. Like I could throw all my setups away today for more players in the community, just like that. And I do that not out of just like, being like just nice, but just doing it for the sake of Kendama. Not for myself, like not like screw everything, just for the sake of Kendama as a whole, like as a concept, as a, as a skill, as an art toy, like as whatever, like Kendama, I value so much. And I never thought I'd get here. I literally never thought that I would actually kind of get into this where like I find such a deep love, you know what I mean? So that's all I have to say. It's really just that. So, yeah. And I think like whenever I go to events, you know what I mean? It's always amazing to see so many players. Normally I try to go to battle. I'm going to try to be going to NAKO this year. We'll see how that goes. It'll be out of my own pocket. Normally my parents give me like a birthday gift for battle, because they're just or a Christmas gift, because they're pretty close together. But besides that, all right, whatever. But so yeah, NAKO. So whenever I go to these big events, I see some of the players, I kind of lose like conscious of how many players are actually playing Kendama, you know what I mean? So just keeping that open mind of like how many players keep playing, and how many players, or how many potential players that we have, right? Because I think Kendama is such a engaging activity that really helps us like just define who we are, you know what I mean? Obviously, like it's kind of weird to be like labeled as like, oh, like I'm a Kendama player, but I love it. Like I love it so much. Coming out of battle, after the event, after like Zach had won, like, Alex had won the pro freestyle, I was so motivated to not only get better, but just to spread Kendama even more. Like I pushed, so I started the UAF Kendama Club back in my hometown, and I'd gone to this event, and afterwards I had twice as much motivation to like grow Kendama, because I just thought it was so amazing, and I still completely do, and there's nothing has changed if not grown, right? But it was that kind of turning point where I realized that the only way that we can keep making events and keep getting them bigger and more popular is if we continue to grow the community. So the only way we can do that is just us. It's up to us. It's up to the players to keep the longevity of Kendama. All right, well, that's kind of where I run out of ideas for this. I think I'm definitely going to post a YouTube video probably tomorrow about something similar. But thank you so much for watching. I always have so much fun making these videos because I literally just press record, and whatever my mind goes to, that's what I'm going to talk about. Like, there's no structure anymore because, to be honest, in my opinion, I have all the ideas in the world for this, and not in like a cocky way. I hope not that people don't, or that you guys see that, but like so much goes on my mind about Kendama that like my motivation to spread it is just through the roof. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every one of you guys that continues to watch this. So yeah, thank you. All right, see you guys.